Number 9, TCU women's basketball lost to Oklahoma State last night, 60-59. So what exactly happened? I apologize if I'm looking down because I cannot memorize all this stuff. You know what's crazy is Oklahoma State lost to Houston almost a week ago. They even lost to Kansas, and when you look at the conference standings, Kansas is not that great right now, to say the least. 2-6. It's one of those games you just didn't play good enough to win, obviously. And this came right after the Baylor win for Oklahoma State. So, yeah, I think that was a letdown. But either way. And that was also the same team that beat West Virginia. So they're kind of Jekyll and Hyde, it seems like. Now, TCU was up at halftime, 39-24. Yeah, they had a double-digit lead. Second half, Oklahoma State scored 36 points, while TCU only scored 20 in the second half. So that's got to be the difference right there. But there's obviously more to the game than that. That's why I'm going to go with like the last minute of the game and the stats. And the stats is just based on like percentages, because it could have been really good defense and made shots. Of course, they missed shots. They missed shots. And going into the fourth quarter, by the way, TCU was only up 6. Then an event like around like 5:30 left in the game. 6 minutes left in the game. It was an 11-point lead for TCU. So, ouch. And from that point forward, from 6:01 left, it was an 18-6 run. 18 points for Oklahoma State, 6 points for TCU. Rest of the game. So around 112 left. Staley Hurd made a 3-pointer assisted by Jaden Wooten to make it 58-55. Oklahoma State was up. And this came right after a defensive rebound by Staley Hurd. Agnes Emma Nupu, double N O P U, and I apologize if I butchered that, turned the ball over. Staley Hurd got the steal right there. Oklahoma State called timeout around 30 seconds left. And Jane Wooten, around 21 seconds left, attempted a layup, which was blocked by Sedona Prince. And Oklahoma State got the offensive rebound. It was a foul on Taylor Bigby. And Anna Grant Ossie made both free throws to make it 60-55. TCU called timeout to advance the ball, of course. Haley Van Lith missed a layup around 16 seconds left, and Sedona Prince got the offensive board. And Jane Wooten fouled for Oklahoma State. In that situation, just don't foul. The clock's kind of in your favor. Luckily, Sedona Prince only made the first free throw and not the second to make it 60-56. And of course, Taylor Bigby from TCU had the foul around 1 second later. And Tannen Magassa went to the line for Oklahoma State, missed both free throws. And Oklahoma State got Agnes from TCU got the defensive board, and TCU called timeout around 14 seconds left. And a really bad thing happened for Oklahoma State coming up around 8 seconds left. Tannen Magassa fouled on a 3-point shot. The last thing you want to do is foul, especially on a jump shot. And Madison Connor went to the line and made all 3 free throws to make it 60-59 around 8 seconds left. Oklahoma State called timeout to advance the ball. Taylor Bigby around a second later fouled, and Anna Grant Ossie this time missed both free throws, which for them at the time, because that left the door open for TCU to get the win. And obviously TCU called timeout. And Haley Van Lith tried to do a jump shot, but missed it. Around 1 second left, and Oklahoma State got defensive board, and Oklahoma State called timeout and to advance the ball, and then they got the ball in. Clearly, the TCU didn't foul, or they tried to and they couldn't do it. And this is huge for the Big 12. TCU has lost their first conference game in their second game overall, which was against South Carolina. But South Carolina is a different beast. Let's just be honest. But losing a game like this is ouch. But I knew there was no way any team in the Big 12 was going to go undefeated. It's just too volatile, as you could tell. Because Oklahoma State lost to Houston. And they lost to Kansas. And Oklahoma State's now 6-2 in the Big 12. And the only undefeated team in the Big 12 now is Kansas State, which they're going to be without Aoka Lee for a while. We just don't know when she's going to come back, even if she, or if she can even come back, due to a stress fracture in her foot. So that's pretty big for the conference, for all those teams close by, especially like Baylor and of course Oklahoma State and West Virginia, just to name some teams. So yeah, that's big coming up. And TCU only made a third of their shots on 66 attempts, 28% on threes on 25 attempts. However, they made 8 out of 10 on free throws, 46 rebounds, 18 was offensive, 12 assists, 1 steal, 6 blocks, 12 turnovers, 14 fouls, 5 points off the bench, and 3 double-digit scores in this game that combined for K. The non-double-digit scores for TCU, by the way, is combined for 14 points. So, 44 points from 4 players, including, and what's crazy is Sedona Prince had half of those. So it goes to prove, as long as you make everybody else ineffective outside of Sedona Prince, you have a shot. Though granted, Sedona Prince only made half her shots on 18 attempts. Usually just high. It's a little bit higher. But you get the point. So, yeah. Yeah, because she's like 61.2% from the floor. So it's a little below her. I mean, like, that's right now. But that's below that number. So, that's the thing to keep in mind. And one player scored 6 points in this game, had exactly 9. That's Madison Connor. Now, Oklahoma State has 16 bench points, 3 double-digit scores combined for 14 plus 10. That's 24 plus 17. That's 41 points right there. And 2 other players that scored 6 points in this game, they combined for 15. 9 plus 6. And Oklahoma State shot 42.4% from the field on 59 attempts. They only made like 30.8% on threes, but that's on 13 attempts. 42.9% on free throws on 14 attempts. Yeah, you got to get better there, especially when you're trying to close out a game. I mean, that's just telling the truth. 34 rebounds, those offensive. Yeah, they still won the game somehow, despite getting out rebounded by 12. I mean, especially 10 on the offensive glass. 6 assists, 3 steals, 6 blocks, 5 turnovers, and 15 fouls. Now I'm going to go over points not turnovers, points in the paint, and fast break points as well. Now, points not turnovers was a difference in this game. Oklahoma State had 16 of them when compared to TCU's 7. I mean, and fast break points favored Oklahoma State too, 9-2. But points in the paint did favor TCU, 22-18. But still, even though they got out rebounded, they had more points off turnovers, which was the difference in the game right here. So what are these two teams have going for the next 5 games? Well, I'm going to tell you what. TCU better beware of Baylor coming up. That's number 25 in the country. Prior to last game against number 1 UCLA, they won 5 straight. And they're now right with TCU in the standings. So this is a huge game coming up for both of these teams. I mean, seriously. I would dare to say if TCU loses this game to Baylor, don't be shocked. And I do think if TCU with the loss, it's going to be out of the top 10 no matter what. It's more like, are they going to be out of the top 15? And if Baylor loses, they're not going to be ranked, period. Maybe just receiving votes. But you get the point. And if Baylor does win, they're probably going to move up in the rankings. It's a matter of how much. So, okay, enough of that. Now, then TCU they literally have a long time, and that's on Sunday, January 26th. And Baylor they played on Monday, so they have the rest advantage. Though they have to travel, but it's not that much of a travel when compared to like going to UCF or Utah or Colorado. It's literally down the road. I mean, now the next game for TCU is Iowa State on the road, February 2nd. So that's a long time, literally a week, to prepare for that game. And Ames is not easy. And I know Iowa State's disappointed. But I'm just saying, you got to be careful. Then you got to go on the road to Kansas State February 5th. And we'll see about Ayoka Lee. I don't think she's going to be available for the game. Personally, I don't. But it's on the road. Then you got Texas Tech at home February 8th. February 11th, you got BYU at home. That should be a win. Same thing goes for Texas Tech, to be honest. Just to be honest about that, I mean, you already beat them already. And it was even at their place by 26 points. So the point is, the Baylor game coming up is going to be tricky. Iowa State and Ames is going to be tricky, potentially. And then Kansas State on the road, even though they don't have Ayoka Lee. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And now Oklahoma State. I'm going to say this right now. You better not lay an egg against Texas Tech, because it seemed like you lay an egg somewhere that you shouldn't. I mean, you beat West Virginia. That was a ranked team at the time. Then you lose to Houston. Of course, after the Baylor win you got, then you lost to Kansas at home. So, I'm just saying, will it happen again? We'll see. And that's on January 25th. January 29th, you got Arizona State at home. Then February 1st, you got West Virginia on the road. That's tough. Then you got Kansas State at home, which, like I said, I don't know if Ayoka Lee is going to even play on February 8th. I would say it's unlikely, but still. And then you got Arizona at home, February 12th. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens about these teams here. Anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 7 scores. Of course, ultimate goal is 1,000 more. Some money if those scores like a video. Comment video really helps YouTube algorithm. Some more people see it. Sharing the video does help as well, so more people can watch. And if you're watching and not subscribed, hit subscribe buttons for the notification bell as well.